Xingze is a pathetic wannabe Michael Jordan but with a career going down like Kobe until one day he decides to move with his hot celebrity sister to Beijing and ends up playing for a loser school with some talented players. In the quarterfinals of the National High School Basketball League, Chengxi High School from Beijing faced off against Shen Wang High School from Shenzhen. The game was intense, with Shen Wang just 1 point behind and working hard to tie the score. Player Peng Kai from Shen Wang was in a tough spot as he tried to shoot from the corner of the court. Cheng Feng from Chengxi reached out to block his shot. However, Peng Kai managed to get the ball back, and his teammate quickly passed it to Cheng Feng. Without wasting any time, Cheng Feng made a jump shot and scored for his team. Shen Wang tried their best to fight back, but Chengxi held on to their lead. Cheng Feng displayed amazing skills and quickness, easily passing by Shen Wang players and scoring important points. As the game clock ticked down, the final score was 68-61 in favor of Chengxi. After the game ended, Cheng Feng's teammates rushed to him, lifting him up in joy as they celebrated their victory. With this win, Chengxi High School moved on to the semifinals, excited for what was next in the tournament. A year later, even though Cheng Feng worked hard as the best player on his team, Chengxi High School did not reach the final game. They lost to Bei High School with a score of 72-84. In the next season, Cheng Feng, now in his second year, was determined to get revenge and beat Shen Wang High School. Meanwhile, the story shifts to a young man named Xingze, who is on a train heading to Beijing. When he arrives at the train station, he expects to be picked up by his sister. Instead, he receives a message with an address to go to. As he steps outside to find a taxi, he notices a man following him. Feeling startled, he quickly turns around, ready to defend himself. To his surprise, it is just a station robot telling him not to block the way. But when he turns back around, the same man is now right in front of him. The man claims he was sent by Xingze's sister. Worried, Xingze decides to call his sister, Wang Yu, to check if this is true. She answers and tells him she did not send anyone to meet him, warning him that the man could be dangerous. This leaves Xingze feeling uneasy and unsure about what to do next. Xingze tries to escape, but the man keeps chasing him without giving up. He attempts to lose the man in the busy station lobby, but the man catches up to him, and they both rush past security. Once outside, in the middle of the traffic, Xingze manages to get away for a moment. However, the man eventually catches him again and forces him into a car. Just when things seem bad, Wang Yu arrives. The man tells her that he was really sent by her. She playfully ruffles Xingze's hair and apologizes, inviting him to have some roasted duck with her. As they talk, Wang Yu asks why he decided to transfer to Chengxi High School. She reassures him that she will handle everything for him. Xingze tells her he came to Beijing to find someone, which makes Wang Yu think it must be a girl he likes. While they are walking, Xingze sees a young man playing basketball and decides to join him. He compliments the young man on his skills and guesses that he is part of the Chengxi High School basketball team. Xingze introduces himself as a new student and asks for the young man's phone number, but the player just walks away without answering. Later at home, Xingze takes out a basketball from his bag and puts it on a shelf. He opens his laptop, which has a picture of Chengxi's basketball team with Cheng Feng as the wallpaper. Looking out the window, he eagerly watches the basketball court at Chengxi, excited for his first day at the new school. The next day, Xingze heads to Chengxi High to pick up his uniform but finds out that he has been mistakenly signed up for Jing High School instead. Frustrated, he calls Wang Yu to complain, but she brushes it off. During the orientation, he meets a boy named Chen Quan. After noticing Chengxi's basketball team taking a break, Chen Quan comes up with a plan to skip their training session. He pretends to faint and Xingze acts worried. They manage to climb over the wall to watch the Chengxi basketball team practice, but they are surprised to see a player from Jing being laughed at. Feeling the need to help, Xingze and Chen Quan jump into the game. While playing, Xingze is impressed by Chen Quan's basketball skills, even though he is a bit heavier than most players. Xingze talks about knowing the player who helped Chengxi reach the semifinals the previous season. He then starts dribbling and running, remembering the lessons he learned from Cheng Feng. His moves catch everyone's attention, and he says he would be disappointed if the main players from Chengxi didn't perform well. The game between the Jing players and the Chengxi team becomes more exciting, while Liao, a girl from Jing, records everything on her phone. Xingze blocks the ball and then passes it to Chen Quan, who quickly dribbles towards the other team's side. Even though Chengxi tries to get the ball back, Xingze manages to steal it and helps Chen Quan score a point. As the game continues, Xingze accidentally hits Liao with the ball, making her drop her phone. She gets really worried, but some older students come over and pull Xingze and Chen Quan away so they can go back to orientation. The next day, Chen Quan and Xingze are sitting in the schoolyard, watching other students promote different clubs. Chen Quan shares his disappointment about Jing's focus on schoolwork instead of talent. He notices that there are many clubs for calligraphy, comedy, Hanfu, and AI exhibitions, but he sees no sports clubs, which makes him feel let down. Suddenly, a group of excited girls rushes over to a handsome boy named Yunmo. Xingze recognizes him as someone he saw on the basketball court when he first arrived in Beijing. To Xingze's surprise, he learns that Yunmo is known as a genius at Xingze High School, which adds to the excitement of the moment. Soon after, Xingze was talking on the phone with his sister about a mistake with his school enrollment. He told her that he planned to transfer to Xingze High School, but Wang Yu thought both schools were the same. After their conversation, Layup came up to him, upset because her phone was broken. Xingze wanted to say sorry, but Layup insisted that he should pay for the damages. He explained that he was arguing with his sister about the school transfer, and couldn't afford to pay her right away. He promised that he would pay for the phone within 2 days, but Layup refused and threatened to talk to his sister directly. Xingze tried to persuade her, saying he would pay within 3 days instead. Remembering how good Xingze was at basketball the day before, Layup suggested that she would let the issue go if he agreed to join the basketball club at Xingze High School. To his surprise, Chen Quan and Gao, the student he saw at the basketball court, also decided to join the club. Layup handed Xingze a registration form and urged him to fill it out. However, Xingze turned it down, insisting that he wanted to pay for the phone instead. He explained that he wanted to join the basketball team at Xingze High School, not the one at Xingze High. This made Layup very angry, and she scolded him for mentioning Xingze High, saying she disliked that school because they often made fun of Xingze High during sports events. Even though he had heard about the rivalry and the problems faced by the basketball club at Xingze High, Xingze still refused to join. He told them that he planned to leave Xingze High in 2 days and would hand over the responsibility of the basketball club to them before he walked away. On his way home, Xingze noticed Yunmo practicing basketball by himself. He went over to Yunmo and apologized for the misunderstanding, mistakenly thinking that Yunmo was from Xingze High. Xingze mentioned that he was transferring to Xingze soon, suggesting that they might become rivals. But Yunmo didn't say anything and left after finishing his practice. The next day at school, Chen Quan was showing Gao some basketball techniques while Layup watched them. She felt let down because only 2 new members had joined the basketball club so far. Soon after, Guan, the president of the student council at Xingze High, arrived. Chen Quan was immediately taken by her beauty. Guan handed some papers to Layup, congratulating her for registering the basketball team and telling her about a friendly match coming up against Xingze High. Layup lied and told Guan that everything was all set for the match. Chen Quan tried to impress Guan by promising that he would play well in the game. Guan smiled at him, excited about the upcoming match. The atmosphere was filled with hope and anticipation for what was to come. The next day, Xingze, Chen Quan, and Layup went to Xingze High School to take a look around. They were really impressed by the lively sports clubs, which seemed much more active than those at Xingze High. After they checked the bulletin board to find out where the basketball court was, Xingze wandered off. He spotted a player from Xingze and thought about following him. Instead, he ended up in the sports building and accidentally bumped into a player he believed was Cheng Feng. Meanwhile, Layup and Chen Quan successfully found the basketball court. They were amazed by the shiny wooden floor and the great facilities. Chen Quan was excited to try out the equipment, but Layup warned him to be careful and not to use it too wildly. As they looked around, they noticed the locker room. Curious, they quietly snuck inside and were surprised to see the walls covered with team strategies and basketball information. Layup was especially impressed by the detailed drawings on the whiteboard. She realized that the game plan focused on player number 9, who had amazing skills. The entire experience filled them with excitement and admiration for the Xingze basketball team. At the same time, Xingze met a player named Xu Hao, who wore the number 9 jersey. This surprised Xingze because he thought that number belonged to Cheng Feng. Xu Hao quickly warned him not to bring up Cheng Feng again. When Xu Hao found out that Xingze was not a student at Xingze, he told him to leave. However, Xingze stood his ground and asked why. Xu Hao dismissed Cheng Feng, calling him a loser who didn't know how to take responsibility. This made Xingze angry, and he grabbed the ball from Xu Hao, challenging him to a game. Word about their challenge spread quickly, and soon a crowd gathered to watch. Xu Hao passed the ball to Xingze, who managed to score a point right away. Then it was Xu Hao's turn, and he impressed everyone, including Xingze, by scoring from far away. The match was intense, with Xu Hao easily stealing the ball and scoring again. Xingze couldn't help but admire Xu Hao's strong build and his ability to shoot from outside. Still, he didn't give up and kept trying to beat Xu Hao, determined to prove himself in this exciting game. The atmosphere was filled with energy as the crowd cheered them on. At the same time, in the basketball room at Xingze High School, Layup was busy taking pictures of all the information she could find. Chen Quan started to feel nervous when he noticed a player named Han standing right behind Layup. Han, not knowing who they were, guessed that they must be new students. Layup quickly confirmed this and explained that they were from the news office. Just then, another player came in and told them that a player from Xingze High had challenged Xu Hao to a one-on-one game. Layup and Chen Quan exchanged knowing looks, thinking that the challenger must be Xingze. Meanwhile, on the basketball court, the score was 4-2, and the Chengxi players were trying to convince Xingze to give up, but he wouldn't back down. He made another attempt to score. When Xu Hao jumped up to block him, Xingze cleverly faked a move and managed to score. As the ball came back to Xu Hao, Xingze tried to predict what he would do next and was able to throw him off a little. However, Xu Hao quickly took control again and was ready to shoot when suddenly, another ball came flying in, interrupting his shot. Xu Hao was shocked to see that it was Duan Baiting who had thrown the ball. This unexpected turn of events added more excitement to the game, leaving everyone curious about what would happen next. The tension in the air was palpable as the players adjusted to this surprising interruption. The game came to an end, and Duan Baiting asked Xingze, Layup, and Chen Quan to leave because the court was needed for practice. Before they left, Xingze walked over to Han and asked about a player named Cheng Feng. Han looked surprised and said that they didn't have anyone by that name on their team. Xingze insisted that he had seen Cheng Feng play for Chengxi High. Frustrated, Xu Hao grabbed Xingze by the collar and revealed that Cheng Feng had been kicked off the team a long time ago. Just as things were about to get heated, Chen Quan and Layup stepped in and pulled Xingze away from the court. Later at Xingze High, Xingze couldn't stop thinking about what Xu Hao had said, and he felt really angry. Chen Quan suggested that they should join the Xingze basketball team to get back at Xu Hao. Unbeknownst to them, Duan Baiting had overheard their conversation and announced that he wanted to join as well. Layup was excited about this development. Feng Jia then shared that Duan Baiting had been Xu Hao's rival since their middle school days. Although Duan Baiting was a talented player, he often felt overshadowed by Xu Hao, leading everyone to compare them and call Xu Hao the better player. After hearing this, Xingze decided he wanted to join the team too. Layup welcomed him with enthusiasm, seeing this as the beginning of a new chapter for the basketball club and a chance for them to grow stronger together. That evening, Xingze went to the basketball court where he usually met his friend Yun Mo, but he found that Yun Mo was not there. He decided to leave a message for Yun Mo, letting him know that he had chosen to stay at Xingze High. Later on, Yun Mo discovered the message. Finally, the day of the friendly match arrived. The players from Xingze were warming up when Xingze and his teammates walked in, only to be met with laughter and teasing from the Chengxi players. However, when Duan Baiting showed up, everyone went quiet because he displayed his amazing skills, grabbing everyone's attention. Duan Baiting locked eyes with Xu Hao, who was on the other side of the court. Layup set up her camera to live stream the match for everyone to watch. The referee called both teams to line up for the game. Layup noticed that Xu Hao was not playing, which was unusual. A player named Shou boldly claimed that they could easily beat Xingze High even without their best players. As the game kicked off, Duan Baiting and Shou quickly took the lead. During a play, the ball accidentally hit Layup in the face, causing a bit of chaos on the court. Chengxi was the first to score in the match, but even though his team was trailing, Chen Quan stayed calm and passed the ball to Xingze. Duan Baiting quickly intercepted the pass, driving the ball into Chengxi's side of the court. His strong presence intimidated Shou, and he managed to score, bringing the game to a tie. After the goal, Xingze complimented Duan Baiting on his impressive play and offered to flip a coin. But Duan Baiting refused, choosing instead to focus on the game. As the game continued, Duan Baiting kept playing aggressively, which frustrated some of his teammates because he was not passing the ball enough. Meanwhile, the main players from Chengxi took notice of Duan Baiting's determination to prove himself. The Chengxi coach was upset about the score being 7-10 and instructed his team to use their practice strategies. Chen Quan found it hard to break through the tight defense, which allowed Duan Baiting to steal the ball, but his shot ended up missing the basket. Chengxi quickly countered and scored again. Layup encouraged Xingze to work together. Once the game resumed, Xingze managed to break through the defense and scored, bringing new hope to his team. Xingze's teamwork got better, with players like Xingze, Chen Quan, Gao, and Feng Jia scoring more points, which put pressure on Chengxi. In the last few minutes of the first half, Xingze made a smart pass to Duan Baiting, who scored a basket. This helped Xingze end the first half with a narrow lead of 31-30. Meanwhile, at Xingze High School, students in a classroom were chatting about how their basketball team was ahead at halftime against Chengxi High. Yunmo, sitting at the back, accidentally overheard their conversation. As the second half started, Xingze and his teammates went back onto the court, ready to play again. Xu Hao from Chengxi High joined the game as well, and Duan Baiting was excited to face him. The two players clashed fiercely, each trying to take control of the game. When Duan Baiting jumped to shoot, Xu Hao also leaped up and managed to block his shot, starting a counterattack against Xingze's defense. Duan Baiting chased after Xu Hao, eager to get back at him for previous insults. However, Xu Hao jumped higher than Duan Baiting and easily made the basket. The rivalry between them continued to heat up, but Xingze High slowly started to fall behind, with Chengxi taking the lead at 45-31. Outside the court, Liao watched in frustration as Xingze struggled to keep up, and even Duan Baiting looked overwhelmed by the pressure of the game. Back on the court, as Duan Baiting attempted to block Xu Hao, memories of past ridicule paralyzed him. Voices echoed in his head, calling him arrogant and a lousy player. Stumbling, he froze, and Xu Hao taunted him, suggesting he face reality. Xingze High now trailed 51-36, and exhaustion loomed over the players. At halftime, Duan Baiting appeared crushed. Seeing this, Liao surprised him by pouring water over his head, questioning his resolve against Xu Hao. Frustrated, Duan Baiting admitted defeat. However, Xingze dismissed the notion, emphasizing that basketball is a team effort. Chen Quan reminded Duan Baiting not to fight alone and urged him to regain his enthusiasm. Encouraged by their words, Duan Baiting felt reinvigorated. As the second half resumed, Duan Baiting closely marked Xu Hao. Although Xu Hao remained confident, Xingze intercepted the ball, passing to Chen Quan and then to Feng Jia. Their teamwork paid off, and Xingze scored. Gradually, Xingze regained momentum, playing better than before. Despite Chengxi's ability to score, Xingze kept motivating his team, and they began closing the gap. Liao, watching from the sidelines, was delighted by Xingze's renewed spirit. Eventually, the final whistle blew, and Chengxi emerged victorious with a score of 70-53. Though Chengxi won by 17 points, Xingze's performance was inspiring. Han, seated on the bench, smiled at their effort. After the match, Han approached Xingze, revealing that Cheng Feng hadn't been expelled but had transferred schools. Xingze inquired about their next match, to which Han replied it would be in the National High School League. Later that afternoon, Xingze met Yunmo at their usual spot on the court, expressing frustration over the loss. He believed they could have won with more time. Surprised to learn Yunmo had watched Liao's live stream, Xingze insisted they would have won if Yunmo had been there. However, Yunmo dismissed the match, noting Chengxi hadn't fielded their main team. When Xingze mentioned facing the main team in the National League, Yunmo called him naive, doubting Xingze's chances of even qualifying. Before leaving, Yunmo told Xingze to focus on qualifying first. Determined, Xingze stayed on the court practicing, vowing to lead Xingze to the National League. On his way home, he stopped by a cafe and noticed a banner of menu items. Approaching the cashier, he ordered soy milk and steamed buns, but they were unavailable. Confused, he ordered dumplings instead. When the owner suggested trying Beijing's specialty fried liver, Xingze was intrigued but found it distasteful. Soon after, a boy named Pai Zhu joined him, eagerly enjoying his food. Xingze was surprised to learn that Pai Zhu knew him. Pai Zhu explained that his elder brother had shown him a video of Xingze's game. Realizing that Pai Zhu was Yunmo's younger brother, Xingze became enthusiastic and asked what Yunmo had said about his performance. After Xingze bought Pai Zhu ice cream, he repeated his question about Yunmo. However, Pai Zhu, distracted by Xingze's teasing, introduced himself and asked to finish his ice cream before answering. When Pai Zhu tried to leave, Xingze grabbed his hair to stop him. Pai Zhu protested, threatening to tell Yunmo, but Xingze remained unfazed, challenging him to bring Yunmo over. Suddenly, Pai Zhu pointed out that Yunmo was nearby with his mother. Sensing the tension, Pai Zhu pushed Xingze to hide behind a tree. Yunmo had left home to retrieve his hidden basketball, only to be confronted by his mother, who was upset he had lied about playing basketball while they were supposed to be heading to piano lessons. On their way, Yunmo noticed some guys playing basketball. Pai Zhu called out, inviting Yunmo to join. Seeing Pai Zhu with Xingze, Yunmo was surprised and asked how they knew each other. Xingze showed Yunmo the basketball, but Yunmo declined and walked away. Pai Zhu chased after him, offering soup, and Xingze promised extra sausages. Despite their efforts, Yunmo remained silent. Pai Zhu persisted, reminding Yun Mo of his promise to teach him basketball every week. Finally, Yun Mo agreed. Pai Zhu then approached 3 adult players, challenging them to a 3-on-3 game with him, Yun Mo, and Xingze. Initially, they refused, but Pai Zhu impressed them by demonstrating his dribbling skills and scoring a hoop. The men accepted, with Pai Zhu humorously adding a condition: the losers had to eat the ball. As the game began, Xingze dribbled toward the opposing side and passed to Yun Mo, who seemed disinterested. The ball went to Pai Zhu, but the opposing team quickly intercepted and scored. Xingze encouraged Yun Mo to enjoy the game. Despite Pai Zhu's efforts, the opponents scored again. Xingze and Pai Zhu strategized, and when Xingze stole the ball, he passed it to Pai Zhu, who scored their first point. Their teamwork improved, leading to several points. Watching them play, Yun Mo recalled his past basketball games. Surprised by Xingze's words, which echoed someone from his past, Yun Mo suddenly sprang into action, stealing the ball and making a 3-point shot, astonishing everyone. With renewed determination, Yun Mo scored repeatedly, even performing a spectacular dunk. Pai Zhu boasted about Yun Mo's abilities, teasing Xingze for not being able to dunk. Frustrated but happy, Xingze brushed it off, enjoying Yun Mo's smile. After the game, Xingze urged Yun Mo to join the school basketball team, believing they could defeat Xingze High together. However, Yun Mo felt they needed a proper coach. At home, Yun Mo found his old basketball jersey and a note from Xingze with his phone number, stirring old memories. The next day, Layup called a team meeting in the math club room to introduce their new coach. After waiting, their math teacher, Guo arrived. Skeptical, Xingze and the others tried to leave for the cafeteria. Annoyed, Layup scolded them, insisting they respect anyone willing to coach. Reluctantly, they agreed to meet Guo. During the break, Gao Zhen from the math club approached Xingze, observing him closely. Gao Zhen showed a photo of Wang Yu and speculated that Xingze, with his white hair, was related to him. Xingze confirmed it. Excited, Gao Zhen introduced himself as Xingze Sr. and a big fan of Wang Yu. When Layup arrived, she was more interested in Gao Zhen's physique, hoping he would join the team. Disappointed to learn he wasn't a basketball player, she signaled Xingze to persuade him. Xingze mentioned his sister attending practice, and Gao Zhen, excited, immediately agreed to join the basketball club. In the afternoon, Gao Zhen caught up with Xingze and suggested they walk home together. Spotting Yun Mo nearby, Xingze used it as an excuse to escape, recalling that they shared the same math class earlier. Xingze expressed his disagreement about having a math teacher, Guo as their basketball coach, believing they needed someone like Yun Mo. However, Yun Mo disagreed with Xingze's attitude, pointing out that Guo loved basketball and deserved appreciation. Xingze argued that their team, being inexperienced, needed an expert to qualify for the National High School League. Despite this, Yun Mo insisted Guo could be a good coach and that Xingze should respect others' passions. That night, Xingze checked the basketball team's chat group, where Layup informed them that Guo would be waiting for practice the next day. When the team gathered at the court, they were surprised to find new basketball shoes. Initially, they thought it was a gift from the principal, but Layup explained that Gao Zhen had purchased them with his own money. Baiting suspected Gao Zhen of trying to bribe them, but Gao Zhen shared his story of loving basketball during his youth despite never joining a team. Touched by his story, the team grew more motivated. During practice, Guo, despite his back pain, managed to score, impressing the team. With renewed enthusiasm, they trained hard, wearing the new shoes and jerseys. Even Xingze finally accepted Gao Zhen as their coach. The night before the match, Wang Yu noticed Xingze's anxiety and suggested they go shopping, but he declined, choosing to rest. However, he couldn't sleep, his mind filled with thoughts of their tough opponents, Linghuan High School, known for their aggressive play style. The next day, Xingze High School's team gathered nervously. Chen Quan felt emotional, as it was his first league game, while Gao Zhen worried about Wang Yu possibly attending. Meanwhile, Layup scolded Xingze for staying up all night. Zhu Hao and his Xingze High teammates appeared to watch, puzzling Layup. Yun Mo and Pai Zhu were also present. Unexpectedly, a Linghuan player, Xu Xingze, greeted Yun Mo, but Yun Mo ignored him, inviting Pai Zhu to find a seat. Annoyed, Xu Xingze attempted to confront Yun Mo, but Xingze intervened, warning Xu Xingze not to pressure Yun Mo. Xu Xingze mocked Xingze for calling Yun Mo his friend and grabbed his jersey collar, but the referee stopped them, issuing technical foul warnings. The match began with Gao Zhen winning the jump ball. Pai Zhu noticed Xingze wasn't playing, while Chen Quan skillfully passed to Baiting, who passed to Guo Da. Despite some hesitation, Guo Da scored, impressing the team with his height advantage. This frustrated Xingze, who demanded to play, but Gao Zhen refused, insisting he calm down. As Ling Huan dominated possession, Chen Quan, energized by spotting Guan Xin in the crowd, dashed past their players to score. However, Ling Huan quickly retaliated, with Xu scoring and widening their lead. Ling Huan continued to provoke Xingze's players, especially Xingze. During halftime, Xingze went to calm himself in the restroom, only to encounter Yun Mo. They discussed Xu and agreed that if Xingze won, Yun Mo would join the team. Back on the court, Ling Huan maintained control, but this time, Xingze ignored Xuan's taunts, determined to focus on the game. The match continued, and Xingze entered, sparking a new spirit in the Xingze team. Slowly, they began to close the gap with Gao Zhen. However, when Duan Baiting and Xu dueled in front of the hoop to contest for the ball, Duan Baiting fell from a high jump and suffered a broken leg. Xingze felt furious, suspecting it was intentional. That's it for today, my fellow men of culture. Like and subscribe the channel for more plot-filled recaps.